My beloved child, there are conversations happening right now in places you have never entered, behind doors you were never invited into, within circles you did not even know existed, and yet your name was spoken there, not by accident, not by chance, but because I allowed it, for I have a way of placing your name in the mouths of people who do not even fully understand why they are speaking it. I plant you in their thoughts. I stir their spirits, I awaken their memories of you, because the future I am weaving is not always built by your presence in the room but by my presence in the hearts of those within it, and while you have been feeling unseen, overlooked, or forgotten, I have been orchestrating a conversation that will unlock a door you thought was closed forever. For some of you, this room is a boardroom where decisions are being made about opportunities, partnerships, or positions that will affect the next chapter of your life. For others, it is a living room where someone is being reminded of your kindness, your integrity, your faithfulness, and they are realizing that they owe you an explanation, an apology, or even a chance to reconcile what was broken. And for some, this room is spiritual, a gathering of those who speak over destinies, who release words into the atmosphere, who carry the influence to open gates that no human hands could force open. And I want you to know this. Your name did not appear there because you begged to be recognized, it appeared because I whispered it into the moment when hearts were ready to hear it, when the soil was finally soft enough for the seed of your destiny to be placed. And you may wonder why I did not allow you to walk into that room yourself, why I kept you on the outside while others gathered inside. And here is the truth: had you been there, your humility would have been tested. Your eagerness to explain yourself would have gotten in the way of what I wanted to speak about you, for sometimes your absence is your greatest testimony. It allows them to speak of you without the pressure of your presence. It allows them to weigh your name without the shadow of your self-defense. And while they were speaking, I was shaping, I was aligning their words with my will, and I was canceling every tongue that rose to curse you in the same space. Because yes, there have been other rooms, darker ones, where your name was used carelessly, where it was dragged in gossip, where it was weighed unfairly, where decisions were made to keep you small. But I overturned them. I silenced them, I confused their plans, because I knew the moment would come when a righteous conversation would take place, and that is now. And so I tell you, do not despise the season of being overlooked, do not resent the quiet years, for while you thought nothing was happening, I was placing you in rooms you could not enter with your feet but only with your faith. And you are closer now to seeing the ripple effect of that moment, but here is where I need your heart to be aligned. Do not chase after the room. Chase after me. Do not become obsessed with who spoke your name, become anchored in why I allowed it to be spoken, because not every mention leads to promotion, some mentions lead to exposure, to testing, to sifting, and that too is part of the future I am preparing for you. For I will not let you step into influence without first ensuring your character can hold it, and I will not give you what will crush you, I will give you what will cultivate you. And even now, as I say this, there is a stirring in your spirit, because you felt something shift recently, an unexpected message, a strange encounter, a sudden sense that eyes were on you though no one said a word, and that was the echo of this room. It was the spiritual vibration of your name being carried on lips that once ignored it, and I am saying, get ready, not by striving, but by refining, prepare not by knocking on doors but by oiling your lamp, by staying in prayer, by guarding your heart, for when the door connected to this conversation opens, it will not be gradual, it will be swift, it will feel like a season turning in a single night, and those who once overlooked you will say, how did they get here? And you will know the answer, because I, the Lord, spoke your name when no one else would, and I have promised that what I begin, I will finish, and what I plant, I will water, and what I declare, no man can undo, so be still. A little longer. Be faithful a little deeper, for the room has already spoken, and now heaven is aligning the path that leads from their words to your hands, and it will happen in my time, not yours, so that when it does, the glory will not rest on their recommendation but on my orchestration, and all will see that this was not about who liked you or who doubted you. It was about who called you by name before the foundations of the earth, and promised to bring it to pass. And now, my beloved, I will take you deeper into the mystery of this moment, for while your name has already been spoken, and the echo of it still hangs in the atmosphere of that unseen room, I want you to understand the weight of what that means in the spiritual realm, because when your name is mentioned in alignment with my will, it does not merely stay as a sound in the air, it becomes a seed in the soil of destiny. And that seed draws to itself the resources, the people, the timing, the opportunities, and even the enemies that will test and refine you on the way to the promise. And some of you have already begun to feel the trembling aftershock of that mention, the strange delays, the unexplainable resistance, the sudden resurfacing of old acquaintances. Because when a door is about to open, the adversary tries to block the path not by locking the door but by distracting the one who is meant to walk through it. And that is why in this season you have felt both a stirring of hope and a cloud of confusion, because you can sense something is moving but you cannot see its face, and you are tempted to force an answer, to reach out to people you think might have been in that room, to try to trace the source of the whisper. But I say to you, be still, for I am the source, not them, and if you run after the human vessel, you may miss the divine process, for not every hand that carries your name carries your future. Some carry only a part of the story, and I am the only one who holds the full script, and I will not let them hold what belongs to you hostage. I will not allow them to decide the timing. I will make it so that when the moment arrives, it will bypass their pride, their prejudice, their hesitation, and land exactly where I decreed it should land. But here is what you must prepare for when your name is mentioned in favor. It often awakens the jealousy of those who thought they had already defined your limits, and when I bring you to the front of their minds, some will resist, some will speak against you, some will dig into your past to disqualify your future, and that is why I have been pruning your circle, removing some voices, exposing some hearts, pulling you out of certain alliances, because the room I am preparing to place you in cannot hold the weight of unnecessary attachments. It is a room where clarity is needed, where your presence will be both an answer and a test. For not all will rejoice when you walk in, but all will know you were chosen, and even before you step in, I am giving you this warning. Do not harden your heart because of the resistance you feel now, for resistance is a sign that the gate is near. Do not misinterpret the silence of people as the absence of movement, for some who are silent because they do not yet know how to tell you they spoke your name. Some are silent because they are waiting for the right time to reach out. And some are silent because I have closed their lips until I finish what I started, and you have been asking me for signs, for confirmation, for a glimpse behind the curtain, and so I am giving you this. Watch for the sudden invitation, the out-of-place message, the unexpected proposal that carries no trace of manipulation but feels like alignment, and when it comes, do not sabotage it with over-explanation or insecurity. Simply step in with the humility you have been cultivating in the quiet years, for this next chapter will not require you to fight for recognition, it will require you to carry the weight of it with grace. And I tell you this because I know how weary you have become, how often you have seen others' names lifted while yours was forgotten, how many nights you asked, Lord, when will it be my turn? And I say, your name is not forgotten, it was being forged, your character was being tempered, your integrity was being proven in private so that when I place you in public, no accusation can uproot what I plant, and the room that has spoken your name is not just a place of opportunity, it is a place of accountability. For the blessing I release there will come with stewardship, and if you step into it with bitterness, you will taint the table I prepared for you, but if you step into it with surrender, you will find that what was spoken was only the beginning, for there are more rooms yet to come, more names yet to hear yours, more gates to swing open at the sound of your obedience, and I will teach you to walk from room to room without losing your peace, without building your worth on the applause of the room, because you are not defined by who speaks your name, you are defined by who called you by name from eternity. And even now, while you wait, I am aligning angels to guard the door, I am stirring hearts to make room for your arrival, I am silencing the voices that tried to cancel your entrance, and I am preparing your heart to carry what is coming. So remain in posture, remain in prayer, remain in purity, for the room that spoke your name has set something in motion that cannot be reversed, and the only thing that can delay it now is your disobedience. So let go of the obsession with timing and focus on the oil in your lamp, because when the door swings wide, it will not wait for you to gather yourself, it will open and expect you to be ready. And I am telling you this ahead of time because I love you too much to let the moment surprise you unprepared. And now I must reveal to you, my beloved, what happens in the realm you do not see when your name begins to travel ahead of you, for names in the spirit are not mere identifiers, they are keys, they carry vibrations, memories, and even assignments, and when yours was mentioned in that unseen council, it was not out of chance. It was because I whispered it into the mind of one who had the power to either open or guard the door of your next season, and they felt the weight of that whisper even if they could not explain why your face came to mind in their sleep, or why your name fell from their lips in a meeting you were never invited to, or why suddenly they found themselves searching for what you carry without even knowing you are the answer. And I want you to see how I work. While you were wrestling with whether you are qualified, I was already positioning you in their thoughts. While you were lamenting the lost years, I was making them remember you at the right moment. While you were doubting your voice, I was letting the wind of your past obedience carry the fragrance of your faithfulness into a room you never stepped into, because destiny is not built on the applause of many but on the obedience of one. And when you obeyed me in the small things, when you forgave the offense, when you sowed the seed, when you walked away from what I said to leave, it set off a ripple that has now reached a shore you cannot yet see. But here is where I must caution you, do not try to force your way into that room before the time is ripe, for some rooms when entered too early become prisons instead of platforms, some connections when grabbed prematurely turn into chains instead of channels, and I love you too much to let impatience rob you of the fullness of what I have prepared, so if the door has not opened yet, it is not because they forgot you, it is because I am still preparing the context. And in that context there are hearts being softened, old agreements being dissolved, hidden enemies being exposed, and even blessings being repositioned so that when you step in, you will not have to strive to make space for yourself, the space will already have your name on it. But you must also understand this. When your name is spoken in rooms of influence, it also stirs rooms of opposition, for the enemy does not stay silent when I elevate one of my own, he will send whispers of slander. He will stir the insecurities of those who wanted your silence. He will resurrect old wounds to make you doubt your worth, and that is why lately you have felt the strange resistance in your spirit, the odd heaviness in rooms you used to feel free in, because your season has shifted but your environment has not yet caught up, and I am urging you, do not shrink back to fit into places I am calling you out of, do not try to convince those who were never meant to carry this part of the journey. Your assignment is not to explain the room to those who were never invited, your assignment is to stay aligned so that when the door opens you walk in with a clean heart and steady feet, for this next chapter will not be about proving yourself, it will be about carrying what I pour out without leaking it through offense or pride, and I know how long you have been waiting, how many times you questioned if I even heard your prayers, but I tell you, I have heard, I have seen, I have recorded every tear. And I have been building something bigger than a moment, I have been crafting a table that will not just feed you but generations after you, and the room that now holds your name is just the first ripple of a larger wave, for your destiny is not a single event, it is a sequence, a chain of divine intersections that I have been aligning long before you had language for your calling, and so now I ask you to release the fear of missing it, because what I ordain cannot be missed by accident. It can only be forfeited by rebellion, and you have not rebelled, you have simply been refined, you have been stretched, you have been hidden, and soon you will be revealed, but not to all, only to those I appoint to hold the next piece of your path. So do not grieve the silence of others, do not idolize the platform, do not measure the value of this moment by how many see it. For some of the most powerful shifts happen in quiet rooms where your name is spoken only once but the echo builds a future for decades to come, and you, my child, are living in that echo right now, so lift your head, keep your hands clean, keep your worship pure, keep your heart soft, because the room has spoken and I have heard, and I will make sure the sound does not fade into forgetfulness but transforms into a call, and that call will come sooner than you think, in a way you least expect, and through a person you may not even have on your list, but when it comes you will know, for my peace will clothe it, my spirit will confirm it, and my favor will rest upon it in a way that no man can counterfeit. And now, beloved, as this message draws near its closing breath, I must tell you what few ever understand until it is too late. When your name is carried by my spirit into a room you have never entered, it is not only an announcement of your coming season, it is a test of your posture in the waiting. for many hear that their name has been mentioned and they run ahead, they shout it from rooftops. They try to make the room open by their own force, and in doing so, they bruise the timing, they alert those who would sabotage, and they walk in with a heart unready for the weight that follows favor. But you, I am asking something higher. I am asking for your stillness, for your restraint, for your surrender, because this is not a door you will open, this is a door that will open unto you, and when it does, it will be swift, it will feel sudden, but you will look back and see that nothing was wasted. Every delay was a thread in the tapestry, every no was a protection, every loss was a pruning, and even the betrayal you cried over became the pivot that pushed your name into that conversation, because I use the foolish things to confound the wise, the weak things to shame the strong, and I take the forgotten and set them before kings, and your life is about to taste that paradox, but I warn you, do not let the applause of the room replace the voice of the one who sent you there. For men can speak your name in favor one day and in envy the next, they can invite you with smiles, and later weigh your worth with silence. So anchor yourself not in their words but in mine, for my word concerning you is unshakable. I declared before you were formed what you would carry, and I have not changed my mind, I have only been shaping the vessel, and now the oil is ready to flow, and when it flows, it will attract both provision and pressure, both allies and adversaries, both opportunities and obligations. So you must decide now to carry it with humility, to give without fearing loss, to step forward without dragging the shadows of old wounds, for I am not just changing your location, I am enlarging your influence. I am not only opening a room, I am preparing a platform that will ripple into cities you have never stepped in, and this is why I have been silent for so long, because what is coming will not be a partial blessing, it will be a full circle moment where you will finally see why I let them leave. Why I closed those doors, why I let you be overlooked, because the room you were praying for could not hold the weight of your calling, but this one will, and the people within it will not just tolerate you, they will need what you carry, and the opportunity that emerges will not just restore what was lost, it will redeem the time, for I am a redeemer of time as much as of souls, and I will let you do in months what years could not achieve. But do not make the mistake of entering with vengeance in your heart, thinking to prove to those who doubted you that they were wrong, for this elevation is not about them. It is about the assignment, and I will not share my glory with pride, so go low even as I lift you high. Give honor even to those who ignored you, bless those who never believed in you, and stay generous even when the room tries to measure you by what you can gain, for your reward is not in their hand, it is in mine. And I will see to it that the room becomes the river through which my promise flows, but the source remains me, says the Lord. So when the call comes, and it will, answer it with discernment, walk through it with gratitude, build upon it with integrity, and leave room for me to surprise you still, for this is only the first of many doors, this is only the beginning of the unveiling, and though you feel weary from the waiting, you will soon testify that it was worth it, because I have not only been preparing a future for you, I have been preparing you for a future that others will drink from, and the story they will tell of you will not be of one who begged to be chosen, but of one who was sent, who carried the fragrance of faithfulness, who stepped into a room marked with their name and left it transformed, because where I send you, my presence goes before you, and where my presence dwells, no scheme can overthrow, no tongue can reverse, no darkness can remain. So take heart, lift your eyes, dry your tears, release the grip of striving, for the room has spoken. Heaven has recorded it, and I will perform it in its appointed time, says the Lord your God.